Hello, and thank you for joining us today in our study of the book of Psalms. Today we're in Psalm 20, and in this short psalm, David is talking about our relationship to God in prayer. But most specifically, he's talking about how God answers our prayers and what we can expect from God in that particular area. So let's examine Psalm 20. Beginning in verse 1, David writes these words: May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob defend you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and strengthen you out of Zion. May he remember all your offerings and accept your burnt sacrifice. May he grant you according to your heart's desire and fulfill all your purpose. We will rejoice in your salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banners. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They have bowed down and fallen, but we have risen and stand upright. Save, Lord. May the King answer us when we call. As you look at Psalm 20, you have here two different areas that David is going to spend his time meditating on and thinking about. The first one is in the area of answering our prayers. He uses the phrase, may the Lord do this, on several times over the first 5 verses. He says, may the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob defend you. May he send you help from the sanctuary. May he remember all your offerings. May he grant you according to your heart's desire. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. David here is illustrating what it's like when you are the servant of God, when you are one who is striving to do what God says, and you go to him in prayer. There is an expectation that is there that the Lord will answer. And see, David doesn't treat this as though this is something that he alone has access to, or that he has greater access than anybody else. As a matter of fact, he treats all of those who put their trust in God as being in the same boat, that they all have this ability to look at God when troubles come, to look for God's help in areas of difficulty, and to be able to have confidence that the Lord will fulfill your petitions. Now, obviously, when we're talking about the servants of God, we're talking about those who are going to ask for things after his will and after his manner. They're going to be looking for the right things. They're not going to be seeking after the wrong things. They're going to be seeking for God's will to be done in everything. You know, there are people that are selfish in their desires, and they only ask God for things that are going to personally or maybe physically benefit them. But that's not the desire of the individual that David is talking about here. But rather, yes, there are problems, and yes, there are struggles, and they are looking for help. But they are looking for help within the framework of God's will. They are looking for God to be praised and God to be glorified in all that is done. He says, now I know, verse 6, that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. I know, David says, that God will answer me. But in the second place, I want you to notice what he says toward the end of the statement. In verse 7, he says, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. Our trust has to fully be in God if we want the answers like what David is describing in the first 6 verses. You know, from his day, David talks about some trust in chariots and some in horses. In our day, we could talk about some trust in their money, some trust in their power, some trust in their possessions, some trust in their land. all kinds of different things that people put their trust in, that this is what's going to save them, or this is what is going to get them through the difficulties. David says, we, those who are seeking God, those who are striving to do what is right, we will remember the name of the Lord our God. Where we put our trust is going to determine how God is able to answer our prayers. Because if we put our trust in ourselves, then we leave no room for God to help us. Therefore, we have to be those who are going to put our trust fully and completely in Him. And that's the emphasis of Psalm 20. These are some of the things that I found in this psalm. I hope that they're helpful to you. Next time we'll come back and we will begin looking at Psalm 21. I hope you'll join us then. But until then, have a great day.